Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to look past that simple chat box and really pull back the curtain on AI's hidden architecture. We're going to break down what's actually going on inside when you think you're just talking to a machine.
All right, let's just jump right in with a number that's, well, it's pretty staggering. $3.2 billion. That's how much money enterprise buyers threw at generative AI in just the first quarter of 2024 alone. I mean, talk about a massive bet on the future, right?
But here's the thing, and it's a big one. A huge chunk of that cash, we're talking billions, was spent based on a fundamental misunderstanding. It's like a powerful magic trick, an illusion about what AI really is.
So let's start right there. Let's break down this illusion. It's this belief, and it's super common, that when you're typing into a chatbot, you're having a direct conversation with some kind of thinking, feeling, sentient machine. And look, this isn't just some minor technical point. This one mistake is being called the single greatest point of failure in modern tech strategy. Why? Because it leads to completely flawed investments, products that break easily, and honestly, a total miss on where the real, lasting value is.
Okay, so if you want to build a real AI strategy, one that's actually going to last, you can't just buy into the magic trick. You have to do something else. You have to break open that chat box, look right past the friendly interface, and really understand the machinery that's pulling all the strings.
And that machinery? Well, it has a name, the three-layer stack. And listen, every single AI product you've ever touched is built on this exact rigid structure. Understanding these three layers, that's the whole key. It's how you make smart calls in the AI world.
All right, let's get into it. Layer 1, the model. This is the part most people think of when they hear the AI, right? This brilliant, constantly learning, always evolving brain. But that's not really what's happening.
The reality is, the model is actually just a massive static file. Yeah, a file. A good way to think about it is like a brain in a jar. It's a perfect snapshot, this hugely compressed version of all the data it was ever trained on. It has all this incredible potential locked inside, but it's totally inert. It does nothing until something else comes along and activates it.
And this is maybe the most crucial takeaway. The model does not learn from your conversation. Not at all. Its knowledge was frozen, locked in, the second its training finished. So when it feels like it's learning something new from you in a chat, what's really happening is it's just mapping your words against its vast but totally frozen statistical landscape.
And creating this frozen brain? Oh man, it takes a horrifying amount of money. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars, tens of thousands of GPUs, all burning electricity for months on end. It's really less like building software and more like solving a giant industrial physics problem. It's a super high-stakes, one-shot bet.
So that's the frozen brain. Now, let's move on to layer 2, which is where things start to get interesting. This is inference. Think of it as the math engine that finally brings that frozen model to life.
So inference is the act of generating a response. It's the process. It takes your prompt, and it runs it through those billions of frozen weights inside the model, and it just calculates the most likely next word. It's a constant, super heavy computation. And, this is absolutely key, it's a strictly stateless process.
And here's a really important distinction to make. Casual users, or tourists as some call them, they focus on how smart the model feels. But the builders, the people actually making stuff, they're obsessed with something else: the latency, cost, and throughput of inference. You see, you don't pay for the model sitting there. You pay, and pay a lot, for the act of generating words. It's a brutal, never-ending operational expense.
Want to know why it's so punishingly expensive? Get this. To generate just the second word in a sentence, the system has to take your entire original prompt plus the first word it just generated and run that whole massive calculation all over again, from scratch. It does that for every single word.
Okay, so we have the frozen brain and the math engine. Finally, we get to layer 3. This is the only part you ever actually see or touch, the application layer. And this, my friends, is the great orchestrator. It's the puppeteer managing the entire show. So think about this. When you're in a long chat, it totally feels like the AI remembers everything you've said, doesn't it? It can bring up something you mentioned 10 messages ago. So the big question is it really remembering?
The blunt answer? Nope, not at all. Remember what we said? Inference is stateless. It has zero memory. It forgets everything instantly. So how does it work?
The application layer fakes memory. It creates the illusion of continuity by secretly stuffing your entire conversation history back into the prompt every single time you hit send.
And this is where you see the application's true power. It's the hidden director pulling the strings. It uses a secret system prompt to give the AI its unique personality. It uses a cool process called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short, to go out and grab external documents in real time. And it builds this deterministic cage of safety guardrails around the model to keep its unpredictable nature in check.
Okay, let's put this all together. If the model is just a frozen, commoditized thing, and inference is basically just a utility you pay for, like electricity, then where's the real competitive advantage? Where's the moat? What are you actually building?
This really pulls it all together for us. Look at the model. It's a static artifact, a one-time capital expense. Look at inference. It's a stateless engine, a constant operational expense. But the application layer? That's where things are different. It's dynamic. It's stateful. That is where all the potential for making something truly unique lives.
You know, the best analogy I've heard is this. The model is just electricity from the grid. It's a utility. You don't win by hoarding batteries or trying to own the power plant. No, you win by building the best appliance that plugs into the wall, the most useful, most innovative, most indispensable tool that uses that electricity. The real, defensible value, it's all in the wrapper.
And so that leaves us with one final, and I think absolutely critical question for anyone out there building with AI or investing in it. Is your strategy focused on building a truly unique and valuable appliance? Something that solves a real-world problem? Or are you just hoarding batteries? Are you just paying to rent access to the power grid and kind of hoping that's enough to build a competitive moat? Because really, the answer to that question, it's going to determine everything.